a meeting with the minister and the board and management of the Princess Juliana International Airport. And the request by the members was that we could discuss with the minister the reconstruction of the Princess Juliana International Airport. Of course, that is something that has everyone's attention in terms of getting the reconstruction of our airport started. However, on request of the minister, that meeting did not go ahead. The minister reported, or had it reported to Parliament yesterday evening, that she was not well and so could not attend the meeting. We hope to be able to reschedule this meeting with the Minister of TIAT on the Juliana Airport as soon as possible. That meeting would have come on the heels of the meeting that we had yesterday with Minister Emile Lee. That too was a meeting requested by members of Parliament, and the request contained the request to the minister to discuss the matter of aid, the criteria as well as the distribution of aid. The meeting on Thursday with Minister Emile Lee started out with a brief introduction by the minister, and then members of Parliament had the opportunity and made use of that opportunity to ask questions regarding the distribution and criteria for the aid, the relief aid in particular. There are several more meetings that are scheduled for next week. A matter that has been very much in the news lately is the matter of the University of St. Martin. The Parliament of St. Martin had in the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports Affairs on the matter of University of St. Martin. We have also heard from the board of the University of St. Martin, and the Parliament even has a request to meet with students of the USM. In the case of the students, this meeting has not yet started. It is expected to take place next week. However, in the case of the minister as well as the board of USM, these meetings have started. Questions have been asked to the minister about USM and to the board of USM about USM. I have learned via the media that there is a possible solution for the USM. And from Parliament's perspective, of course, we are glad to hear that given the attention and some would say pressure from Parliament for attention for the University of St. Martin, we are seeing some actions happening with respect to possible solutions for USM. In the case of USM, as we have heard from the board of the University of St. Martin, it is about one, short-term financial injection for the USM so that the USM would have time to contemplate on the future and the future direction of our university. So members of Parliament were quite keen to learn what the possibilities were for a short-term financial solution for USM, and then we could have a longer-term discussion about the future of USM, especially given the situation that we have right now on St. Martin, in which USM has to play an important role. I am talking about one, the possibility for more students to be able to follow tertiary education. Students going abroad is going to become something very critical in the future. It's going to be limited being able to finance students to go abroad. So we really need to focus on what we can do at home, what we can do with the University of St. Martin in terms of offering more persons the opportunity for tertiary education on St. Martin. But these are the type of discussions that once the university is in quieter waters, financially speaking, we can have a discussion about the role of the USM in offering as many persons the opportunity to follow a tertiary educational career and the role of USM in doing that. So again, the minister needs to come back to Parliament and report on her endeavors. The board of the USM needs to come back to Parliament and answer to the questions posed by members of Parliament. And Parliament is still desirous of hearing from students of the University of St. Martin as well. Next week, we also expect to have the Minister of Finance back in Parliament to give answers to the questions posed by members regarding the finances of government. This is a critical issue going forward, and every day we realize and should recognize how more critical this matter is of our overall finances. Why is this becoming more and more evident? Because clearly we have a tremendous reduction and can expect an even bigger reduction in government's revenues going forward. Government is not able to collect its taxes and other fees from an economy that is sputtering since the passage of Hurricane Irma. If we don't have businesses operating, we can't expect there to be possibilities for employment. We can't expect there to be possibilities for government to collect taxes, fees, and whatever else have you. So this situation now, 3 months basically following Hurricane Irma, is becoming very, very drastic, and we therefore need to continue to look closely at what we will be able to do for the coming months, where finances and economic revitalization are concerned. So the Minister of Finance is to come back to Parliament next week as well. We also have several matters that are pending and that have been put forward in a motion from Parliament going back to October the 4th. Why do I mention that motion in particular when there have been several other motions? Because that is a motion from Parliament in which Parliament has put forward some very, very clear issues that we would like to see and would have liked to see the government address. For example, the matter of having this weekly question hour between the government and Parliament. This is an idea, in fact, this is a proposal from Parliament so that we can have the government and government ministers coming in at a set time in every week to give answers to very specific questions so that the population of St. Martin can have an update on matters that affect all of us. So that is the so-called question hour. It is something that we have been working on to include in our rules of order. Following Hurricane Irma, what we did was to take this out of the discussion on the rules of order and actually make a proposal very concrete, and that proposal was passed by Parliament that there shall be a weekly question hour between the Parliament and the government. The Parliament, the members of Parliament asking specific questions. These will be given or sent to the government ahead of time, and then the government will come in that session, respond directly to the questions. Again, it's about getting information to the public. Things are changing on a daily basis. Issues are popping up on a daily basis, and we need to have all of us, Parliament and the population at large, need to have the information, need to have their questions and queries answered. So that is one thing in the motion.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NV.
Time is not enough this afternoon to be able to say all that I would like to say here. When I listen to the minister, there is something very peculiar that the minister stands up here this afternoon and says that when we really compare St. Martin with the other islands, St. Martin bounced back fast. Things went pretty well. I did not hear the minister saying this when the Prime Minister was taking blows. That's bad. That's bad. The minister is part of the Democratic Party, and the only leader of a party that is in two governments, that is in the old coalition still, because the minister is still part of the caretaker government, and also part of the new government. And I'm sure that the minister shares information with his party leader, and the party leader too does not say the things that the minister said. It's impossible for the minister to stand up here this afternoon and say how good things went according to him, but his party leader never even say that the Prime Minister did a good job. Madam Chair, there are a couple of things that I would like the minister to know. Here in St. Martin, we have persons who are in dire need of help, and those persons are not going to stand up in a crowd and push and tug for that help. Those persons are there, and for whatever reason, we need to get to them. Madam Chair, if my mind is good, I read in the newspaper or in the media that the people may not come anymore to the building. Don't come no more to the building. We'll come and look for you. Where are you going to find them, Madam Chair? The Red Cross also did the same thing. Don't come to the office, we will come and find you through the community council or through this or through that. There are areas in St. Martin that do not belong to a community council, and those persons are always being told, no, you don't belong to our group. So it's very interesting. It seems like the people are now, we reached to a limit and don't come by the building. And the reason why I say it like that, because I made a suggestion that the people, the persons who are coming to look for aid related directly to post-Irma or to Irma can be handled either in the old census office area or by the immigration area. There's room to handle our people. But to tell them, don't come to the building anymore, does not come over well. Don't care how good we have written it. Madam Chair, for me, more important this afternoon is the big voucher of 550 million euro. That's the voucher, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the Dutch waived that voucher, and they said, you can't get that voucher, St. Martin, if you don't give us the integrity chamber and if you don't give us border control. And after they got the integrity chamber and border control on the 2nd of November, they added stable government, they added Mali must go, they added you must now wait on the World Bank to get their voucher. I read in the Telegraaf of November 29, and it says that they were interviewing a leader of the new coalition, because the new coalition have 2 leaders. The former coalition have 3. And the leader of one of the leaders of the new coalition, the Honorable Member of Parliament, Theo Heiliger, he said, if I'm the problem, let me go. I'll step aside. After you have signed and given the Dutch carte blanche to do what they want in St. Martin, to do what they want with the people of St. Martin, then you say, if I am the problem, let me step aside. That's not the way you defend people. That's not what the people voted for. The people voted for representation, and you should stand up. Stand up and represent the people. And the fact that you mention, if I am the problem, it means there is a problem. And the problem could not have been William Mallon on the 29th of November because he done gone. So what else is the problem? Because that big voucher of 550 million is not really coming. It's not coming. The only party leader that stands in both governments, the one that leaving and the one that coming. The reason? I need to have my own opinion was the first reason given. The second reason given, Mallon don't want to give in to the Dutch. But Madam Chair, I was in the same coalition, and all of us stood in the coalition meetings and we spoke about strategies. We wanted the 3 high councils of state to put together the people that would run our integrity chamber. And the leader of the Democratic Party was part of that coalition. To hear that person today saying, but Mallon didn't want to give in. We told Mallon not to give in. That was a strategy. So what is really the reason? Now you hear, oh, we wanted the aid. That big voucher of 550 million euro. That big voucher. And now today, a month later, 30 days later, after we have done what we wanted to do, throw down the government, make a mess in politics, up to now the people can't see the voucher. Up to now, where is the big voucher of 550 million euro? Oh, we have to wait on the World Bank. Or if I'm the problem, I'm going to step aside. Who is now going to stand up to represent the people?
People all across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIP MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of fun miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to my card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free fun miles with first use. Switch to my card today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
There was a complete, there was nothing done. I can't stand here and say that you cannot tell that there is a constant, there's trial and error as you go, because we've never been faced with this type of situation. So, A, we was not prepared. B, we are reactive, but still there is there's progress, and I can tell. And it's so strange to stand here and say, good job, Miss Arnell, good job on everything, and then after shut everything else down right away. I also find it very sad, the play on words and the twisting of information to, because we cannot convince, we just steady trying to confuse people. Through you, Madam Chair, this minister was a part of the outgoing coalition, and if I have privy to the meetings that some of the members of parliament claim to have been in, why wasn't anything said then and there? Why you didn't pull up your colleague at that time? Why are we coming now after everything has happened to find and pick and shut everything down and act as if we weren't at some point one? When I think again more about the twisting of words, and I have just a few questions, so I have a little time to play with on my 20 minutes. We refusing to acknowledge the fact that immediately after the hurricane, the person that was in charge was the Prime Minister. And if that wasn't clear then, I think the presentation given was clear. So aid, so relief items, everything was in charge of the EOC was in charge of that, and the chairperson of that was the Prime Minister. But we took care of that situation. At some point during those committee meetings, something went wrong, because then it was said, and I was not privy to those meetings, and as I constantly say, correct me if I'm wrong, the governor took over because somebody had failed. No name, no blame. Besides the shelters that we practically had to fight with the Prime Minister to open prior to the hurricane, based on what we were seeing in the media, international media, because we were told that no shelters wasn't opening until after. So after having to fight that battle and won that part of the war, we finally had some shelters so that people could have gone into, and even then, I think now the question should be geared towards what are we going to do to ensure that shelters are going to be in place in the event of another situation as this or even worse. And we speak about the other set of relief items, because at some point the onus is then taken over by VSA. Right, Madam Chair, through you? I have to make sure that at some point it went from the EOC after the state of emergency and then to the Ministry of VSA. When was that? Is there any truth to the speculations that relief items are in storerooms at the government building and is the only ministry that have exclusive access to these relief items is the Ministry of General Affairs? Why is it that the Ministry of VSA don't have access to these relief items? Is there any truth that there is still a container full of bottled water over at the government building somewhere, whether I'm not sure where, but somewhere over there, and this too is still under exclusive access to the Ministry of General Affairs? If we are going to stand here and call each other out, then we need the facts to work with. And if so, why isn't VSA in charge of these items, Madam Chair? Is there any truth at all that the then Prime Minister requested of a supermarket or a distributor for packages specifically for the ministers? And is there any truth that these packages had to have specific items in them, and it was told that the ministers do not want any corned beef in their packages? And this was again by our, I can't say outgoing, but our gone Prime Minister.